that time of the week when we look at the latest business and management books. And Ron Immink, co-founder of BookBuzz, is in studio with me this week. Morning, Ron.
Good morning, Ian.
You've got a title this week which will cheer us all up. Reality is Broken by Jane McGonigal. And if you have spent hours upon hours playing video games, you weren't doing anything wrong. In fact, you're probably smarter than most people out there.
And I was delighted because I am a gamer. My son is a gamer. Are you a gamer, Ian?
Do you know something? I never got into it, but I am now. I'm always on my iPhone with loads of games downloaded.
I highly recommend every entrepreneur or business person should start playing games. I think it should be compulsory. And just to give you sort of a backdrop, there's over 500 million people play games. They play on average 2 hours a day. The market of games is 68 billion. 97% of youth play games. If you look at Warcraft alone, you know how much time they've spent online playing games? And you have to think in years now.
No idea.
5.93 million years of gaming. And apparently that is exactly the amount of time it took us evolutionarily for us to learn how to walk as human beings. So it's a massive. Halo has 10 billion kills. It has an army of 15 million people that are part of the Space Command Army, which is the same size as the 25 biggest armies in the world. So it's an absolutely massive industry. What's happening as a result of that, it's referred to as Generation G, which is for whom the world is too slow. And everybody eventually will start playing games, and that has all kinds of impacts on whatever we do. And to just give you one example, kids now understand what engagement is because games are thoroughly enjoyable, and then they have to go to school.
And at school they're not allowed to play games. They have to have books open.
Is incredibly boring.
School's not boring.
Well, ask my son. He finds school incredibly boring. 70% of CEOs take about 15 minutes to an hour out of their day to play games. So it's very, very big. And gaming, because games do a lot of research into sort of the art of happiness, and gaming is about positive psychology. And actually gaming makes you very, very, very happy. So, and there's a distinction between soft fun and hard fun. So, what do you think is more, what makes you more happy? Hanging in a hammock or doing an activity?
It depends where you are. If you're off in the Caribbean, I'd imagine laying around in a hammock is good for you.
Wrong, Ian. Wrong. Hanging in a hammock actually makes you ultimately a little bit more unhappy. But activity, because you have a sense of achievement, makes you happier in the end. And that's what gaming is all about.
Now, I can see why the game companies, all the people who make these games would love this book, but what practical implications does it have for companies out there? I suppose if you're an individual out there, how is this going to make you a success? Because there are some claims in the book that this could make you an entrepreneur.
So, you know Malcolm Gladwell's with Outliers. I think we talked about it. And it's about the 10,000 hours. So a kid now spends about 3,000 hours in his youth reading, but he or she spends about 10,000 hours gaming, which means you get over the 10,000 hours threshold of being excellent. As a entrepreneur or as an owner manager, you really have to start. So you just have to accept that every part starts playing games, which means that your work environment needs to be a little bit more engaging than it is right now. If you start looking at the way you design your product or your service, you really have to start looking at gaming and the way it engages people. And is your product or service as engaging as a game?
I've seen some things from the military in the UK as well. They're training pilots more now on video games at the start because they don't have as much money to spend on actual training flights for them. Are we now getting to the stage where you can apply the rules of video game technology to most industries?
Absolutely. And if you just go back to schools, so there's a school in New York which is called Quest for Learning. And you can look it up online. And that school is entirely based on game theory. And it's a highly effective way of teaching kids.
Worthwhile, this book reading for most people out there?
It's an absolute must read.
Okay. Ron Immink, co-founder of BookBuzz. Thank you very much. We'll leave it there. The book is Reality is Broken by Jane McGonigal. So all those years I should have been spending in front of playing video games, I wasted my youth. Okay, Ron, thank you very much.